Rob, wake up.
No, TV's Rob is unwoke. TV's Rob is unwoke.
He's unwoke.
Greetings, my friends. This is TV's Rob. This is TV's Rob is unwoke. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to purge the world of all this wokeness and pure idiocy to restore balance and order. Today, I'm just going to hit on a couple of items that broke since the last episode was released. If you haven't listened to episode 25, be sure to go back and listen to that at the end of this episode so you have a more complete picture of what I'm going to be talking about here. The long and short of it, the Brandon Brown saga continues. You've heard me on this podcast talk about Xfinity Series driver Brandon Brown, the Talladega race winner that, thanks to the help of NBC Sports reporter Kelly Stavast, became the rallying cry of 2021 with the infamous "Let's Go Brandon" chant. I have said multiple times that any company making money on the phrase should send money to Brown to help make sure his race team is able to go race every week. Well, finally, somebody answered that call, and it wasn't who I was expecting or even hoping it would be. This is from Brandon Built Motorsports on December 30th. Brandon Built Motorsports announced today that cryptocurrency meme coin LGBcoin.io has signed on as the team's full season primary partner for the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. The partnership marks the latest crypto outfit to back a NASCAR driver and team, a growing trend not only in motorsports but across all professional sports leagues. In 2022, BMS driver Brandon Brown will sport an eye-catching red, white, and blue livery with the logo and wordmark of LGBcoin aboard his number 68 Chevy Camaro for all 33 races of the NASCAR Xfinity Series season. LGBcoin is a new decentralized meme cryptocurrency similar to other meme coins and tokens such as Dogecoin that has achieved a market capitalization of more than $300 million in less than 6 months. The patriotic coin, dubbed America's Coin, aims to inspire positivity and unity grounded in a strong belief of the American dream. We are thrilled to partner with Brandon Built Motorsports and Brandon Brown for the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season, said James Kutelas, LGBcoin holder and founder of Typhoon Capital Management. Brandon is not only an incredibly talented driver, but also a thoughtful individual wise beyond his years. His commitment and singular focus on his profession is inspiring, and his personal story is one that we can all be proud of. An American story of success and perseverance. Brandon is truly America's driver. We are proud to support Brandon this season to help him continue his American dream, said Kutelas. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, but sorry, what are you going to do? If we do our job right, when you think of us and you hear "Let's Go Brandon," you'll think and feel "Let's Go America." I thought that was a lovely little release. And it continues. After securing funding from a portfolio of crypto-related entities during the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series season, Brown becomes the first NASCAR driver to land multiple crypto deals and distinguishes himself as an early attractor for meme and crypto partnerships. Having the financial support of LGBcoin is incredible, especially at such a pivotal time in our team's growth as we work to build to the next level of competition, said Brown. From wondering if we would have the financial means to continue to compete, to my first major win at Talladega, no less, to becoming an unintentional meme this past season was a roller coaster. The support of sponsors like LGBcoin empowers us to be as competitive as possible, and I'm looking forward to competing hard on the track in 2022. LGBcoin will make its racing debut aboard Brown's number 68 Chevrolet Camaro during the NASCAR Xfinity Series season opener at Daytona International Speedway on Saturday, February 19th, 2022. That is some great news during this holiday season, right? Right before the calendar hits 2022, America's driver Brandon Brown secures full-time sponsorship just a mere days and weeks after saying that nobody wanted to come near him because of the "Let's Go Brandon" chant. A company stepped up. Not the company I was thinking, not the company I was hoping, but a company nonetheless that has $300 million of capital, so they can afford this easily. Hey, TV's Rob here. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast far and wide on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. And now there's a new video option. So if you really want to get into that, Anchor is the place to go. If you start a podcast using Anchor by Spotify, I'll even be your first guest. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Well. Not too fast. As always, when there's good news, somebody has to come piss on the parade. And that somebody is NASCAR. Of course. Why not? Motorsport.com reported late Thursday afternoon that a NASCAR spokesperson confirmed to them that the LGBcoin sponsorship for Brown has not been approved, and the team, quote, jumped the gun, unquote, in publicizing its announcement Thursday morning. Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports tweeted the following earlier Thursday. Brandon Brown announces he has a full-season Xfinity sponsorship deal from LGBcoin, a cryptocurrency created to take advantage of the Let's Go Brandon theme. Team says that NASCAR has approved the paint scheme. Keywords there, paint scheme, not sponsorship. Then he came back with this a few hours later. Update, NASCAR says it has not yet approved the scheme. All paint schemes must be approved. Sponsorship needs to go through a formal process, which has not yet occurred. Process/decisions would likely occur in the next couple of weeks or so. His latest tweet, just a little while ago before recording this, Brandon Brown, team believed it had all the approvals needed for sponsor and the paint scheme, so it went ahead with the announcement today. NASCAR says sponsorship approvals still needed. Now, the timeline that Pockrass laid out here, next couple of weeks or so. If NASCAR doesn't approve the sponsorship, where does that leave Brandon Brown? This is a man who wants to race. This is a man running a family-owned small business trying to live the American dream. Brown even said himself recently he hasn't been able to get sponsors because of the Let's Go Brandon movement. And it wasn't even his fault. He had nothing to do with it. That was all Kelly Stavast. That was all NBC Sports trying to cover for Biden in the worst way possible. Honestly, NBC Sports is to blame for the birth of the Let's Go Brandon chant. NBC Sports should be picking up part of the tab for Brandon Brown's racing in 2022. But of course they won't, because they are hell-bent on protecting President Braindead and his idiot doctor wife. But after seeing all of this stuff on Twitter and seeing the news reports come out today, it really got my brain churning, and the question I had was, why does NASCAR need to approve the sponsorship? So I did some research, I did some digging, and guess what? I couldn't find anything related to NASCAR approving sponsorships for teams. But I did find this from 2013. NASCAR has set new guidelines that will govern and require approval for race naming rights sold by racetracks starting in 2014. Let's call it the NRA rule. The new policy was established about 6 months after the National Rifle Association sponsored the Sprint Cup Series, now just the Cup Series, race at Texas Motor Speedway. Now that only came to light through sanction agreements filed by Dover Motorsports Incorporated with the SEC. The new policy states NASCAR will disapprove a prospective entitlement sponsor only if such prospective entitlement sponsor's brand has been tarnished by controversy, crisis, or circumstance such that its association with the event would damage the NASCAR brand or the image of the sport, or it would damage the broadcasting network's ability to sell advertising, the sanction agreement states. Now, mind you, what I just read is about racetracks and entitlement sponsors for races, like the Coke Zero 400 or the Dixie Vodka 400, things like that. That's what they're talking about there. But I have a feeling that they also look at these sorts of items when any sponsor comes into the sport, period, even for a team. There's a lot more to come, but first I want to talk about protein bars for a moment. We've all seen them and most likely have tried a few in our goals of eating healthier and losing weight. But what's the biggest problem with all of them? Well, basically, they all taste like crap. They're hard to chew, taste awful, and don't provide any type of satisfaction. I'm happy to say that there is one protein bar out there that isn't anything like the others, and that is Built Bar. Built Bar is healthier than your favorite protein bar, if you have one. Bars are low calorie, low sugar, high protein, high fiber, great for keto diet, lose or maintain weight while indulging in a delicious treat that tastes like a candy bar. Each bar contains only 110 to 160 calories, 16 to 20 grams of protein, and 3 to 5 net carbs. Enjoy the healthiest thing that you'll do today. When you eat a Built Bar, you feel better about yourself because healthy has never been this delicious. Built Bar is better tasting than your favorite candy bar. Candy bars have not evolved in over 100 years. Now they have with Built Bar. There's 18 different flavors to choose from, including cookies and cream, strawberry, peanut butter, and mint brownie. Go to Built.com and use the promo code TVsRob at checkout to get 10% off your next order. Use promo code TVsRob for 10% off at Built.com.
He's on woke.
Now, here's the problem that I have with NASCAR approving or disapproving of sponsors for teams. NASCAR is not a league like the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, etc. NASCAR is supposed to be merely a sanctioning body. They are responsible for setting the rules of competition, the venues of competition, and the payouts for the competitors. The teams are not franchises of NASCAR. The teams are independent of NASCAR. In theory, anyone who shows up to the track with a car that meets the specifications for NASCAR and follows the rules NASCAR has in place should be allowed to race, no matter who or what is on the hood of the car. That's just my thought on it. But we know that this isn't about a new sponsor coming into a sport at a time where sponsors are either leaving or no other new ones are willing to jump into the game. If you listen to this podcast regularly, you will recall a couple weeks ago I mentioned that Mars was leaving their driver Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing at the end of 2022. So M&M's and Skittles and Wrigley, they're all going to be gone at the end of 2022. Mars now joins companies like Lowe's, The Home Depot, Office Depot, Old Spice, Target, Red Bull, Pepsi, Nationwide Insurance, military sponsorships, UPS, Sharpie, CarQuest, Kellogg's, and more in leaving the sport. And when I talk about not a whole lot of new sponsors coming in, Kyle Larson, the 2021 Cup Series champion, you've heard me talk about him before. When he returned to the sport for the season, he didn't have sponsorship. Thankfully, his team owner, Rick Hendrick, decided to use Larson's number 5 Camaro as a rolling billboard for his own companies. And after Larson started dominating, interest started to come in. Companies started wanting to get signed up, but they didn't want to sign on for a whole year. No. They only wanted to do 1 or 2 races, piecemeal little deals. Well, Rick Hendrick decided that didn't appeal to him, and his automotive company, HendrickCars.com, decided to step up to fund the car. Rick Hendrick also really enjoyed seeing that particular paint scheme on the track because that was his son's paint scheme when he was still with us. Now, in this case, I guess you could say that you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, as far as HendrickCars.com paying for the sponsorship for the number 5 car because it's all Hendrick anyways. But Mr. H could handle that. Other drivers and teams are struggling to get sponsorship. So why is NASCAR potentially standing in the way of this one? What could it be? Because simply, my friends, NASCAR has gone full woke. They've been sliding in that direction for the past couple of years. Now they have just gone full on woke. Let's face it, LGBcoin plays off the "Let's Go Brandon" phrase. A phrase that race-baiting, hate crime headline perpetuating NASCAR president Steve Phelps has openly come out and publicly denounced. Phelps is a woke turd, plain and simple. You may recall, Phelps in 2020 perpetuated the whole fake hate crime, fake news story at Talladega. Phelps in 2020 allowed Darrell Wallace Jr., aka Bubba, to run a very specific paint scheme at Martinsville. If NASCAR has to approve paint schemes and sponsorships, why was it that a Black Lives Matter car was able to show up at the track and be raced at Martinsville Speedway? If NASCAR doesn't want to be political, why are they making decisions like this? You can't have it both ways. So NASCAR and Steve Phelps, you're either political or you're going to be non-political and you're going to let anything fly. Now, to be fair, I have seen a Fox Nation car on the track, but in the grand scheme of things, how many people really know what Fox Nation is? Does anybody actually subscribe to Fox Nation? If you do, let me know, because I'm really curious. I don't subscribe to Fox Nation. I subscribe to enough things. I don't need another one. Plus, I can't really say that there's anybody on there I really want to pay to see, okay? Y'all know who I'm talking about, especially. I don't want to pay to see that one. I don't want to pay to see her. You know who I'm talking about. Don't lie. But you can't have it both ways, NASCAR. And Steve Phelps, you need to go. There was a time in NASCAR where it was ruled with an iron fist by Bill France Jr. or Bill France Sr. They didn't mess around. They took no prisoners. Phelps has got to go. Plain and simple. And here's my fear. And I was thinking about this while in the shower and talking with my wife, Nikki. If NASCAR does not approve this sponsorship of Brandon Brown from this crypto company, where does that leave the NASCAR fan base? Because they've already been splintered. They've already been tarred and feathered the past year and a half. I don't know if NASCAR really survives this one. Will that decision eventually lead to splintering the fan base to the point where the sport may never be able to really survive it? NASCAR has been hemorrhaging viewers, just like sponsors, for years now. Poor racing, poor decisions have plagued the series for a good many years now. Could a woke president like Steve Phelps ultimately be the man who becomes responsible for the destruction of NASCAR? A sport built on a rebellious spirit, whose history goes back to the days of bootleggers modifying their cars to outrun cops during the days of Prohibition. I shudder to even think about what could happen if Woke Car decides that they don't want the "Let's Go Brandon" meme coin associated with its sport. And it pains me because I'm a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this mini episode of TV's Rob is Unwoke. I truly appreciate you coming along for the ride and listening to the show. If you would, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star rating and a review saying how wonderful and amazing this show is. And if you lie, it's okay. I won't tell anyone. Also, the show is available on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and you can do a search for TV's Rob is Unwoke, or you could click the link in the episode description that I will leave for you. The new official website is up and going as well. You can check that out at unwokepod.com. There you can sign up for updates and reach out to me directly. Don't forget, Built Bar is giving listeners 10% off at built.com with promo code TV's Rob at checkout. If you want to get in on the action and make your mark on the show, go to anchor.fm/TV's Rob is Unwoke and leave a voice message. Let me know what you think about this whole Brandon Brown story. I'm really curious to know what you guys think. Also, if you want to come on the show and talk about something that's really pissing you off, send me a message on Twitter at TV's Rob Official. You can also hit me up many other ways. Special thanks to my wife and producer, Nikki. You can follow her on Twitter at DFW Radio Girly. And of course, Ryoga, the special derpy cat, the executive producer of TV's Rob is Unwoke, who is currently snoring in his fluffy bed in the corner. You can see what he's up to on Twitter as well, at Cat Ryoga. I'm TV's Rob. This is TV's Rob is Unwoke. I'll catch you next time.